All right, we back. Let's give this another go. All right, y'all. It's the homie, main man, made man in the building, live from the DMV. Y'all know how I get down. We talking boxing. Let's see how the audio sounding now. All right. Okay, that's what I'm talking about. Am I too low? Am I too high? Y'all need to let me know. But from what I'm hearing on my end, we sounding just right, man. Slim, I have been waiting all week long to get up on here with the boxing fam. Shout out to everybody. It is always a pleasure to join y'all midweek as well as at the end of the week. Y'all know how we do on Wednesdays and Sundays. Man, we get up on here and we talk that real. We talk boxing. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to everybody who catch this on the playback. And shout out to everybody that's riding with me tonight live, man. It is always a pleasure, man. Real talk, man. Last of a dying breed. What's up, fam? What's up with you, man? Let me just share this in the main man, made man boxing form. And yo, we gonna get it cracking, home. You know what I mean? We got a lot to talk about, man. As you can see from the title here, we definitely going to dig into a lot of good boxing talk tonight, man. Real talk. But let me just also, before we get the stream started, I wanted to say to my maid mob, you know, the reason I've been so slow on uploading videos this week is that I'm dealing with some things in the background, and I lost a very, very close relative to me this week, and I lost my great grandma, and she lived to be 101 years old. I repeat, 101 years old. Can you imagine? Can you imagine living that long, man? Seeing all the technology change, coming in a world at a time when technology was what it was and cars looked the way it was and fashion was what it was, and you living long enough to see music change, to see all the technology wars come, living through the civil rights era, all of these things. You know, she lived through them all, man, having kids, grandkids, great grandkids, even seeing some of her grandkids pass before she did. You know what I'm saying? Can you imagine? Can you imagine? That's just like us living today. And, you know, we got cars and we got things like this. And then you living to the point where you're seeing flying cars and all this type stuff. You know what I'm saying? Can you imagine how you just see the world change before your eyes? Many different presidents, all the different situations that the country been through and all that good stuff. Just can you imagine? That's what she lived to be, man. So I lost her this week. She was a pivotal person in my upbringing. And it was kind of tough for me to upload videos this week because I was kind of dealing with that in the background. So to all of my main man fam out there, I ask you to keep me in your prayers as well as keep my family in your prayers. And I would really appreciate it. You know what I'm saying? All day in the paint. So let's get on with the topics, though. You did before, since I have been kind of like this week on uploading videos. Let's start off with I just want to start off with some honorable mentions, if you will, some of the things that's been going on around boxing before we get into the meat and potatoes of this thing. You know what I mean? First thing I want to start off is that I seen that Amir King Khan. I seen that Khan has got back with boxing trainer Barry Hunter. I mean, not Barry Hunter, Virgil Hunter. You know what I mean? Which is, it's a good thing. You know, this is showing us a sign for Terrence Bud Crawford. P. Newell in the building. What's up, family? You know what I'm saying? And this shows us a good thing on how he's trying to strategize against Terrence Crawford. First off, we know Virgil Hunter, who teaches Amir Khan how to use his feet. He's a feet first type trainer. I'm seeing him. He was talking to Chris Eubank Jr. and he was explaining some of his training protocol to Chris Eubank Jr. And he was saying that, yo, man, you know, when you talk about movement, you use feet first and not hands first. Something he's clearly shown Amir Khan. And on top of that, this is Amir Khan in his last fight. He was rocking with Joe Goosen. But in this particular fight, looks like he's going to be rocking with Virgil Hunter. Amir Khan feel like he's going to be comfortable with Virgil Hunter. He's got some of the biggest wins of his career under Virgil Hunter. And, yo, it's all good. You know what I mean? So it looks like Amir Khan will be rocking back with Virgil Hunter for the upcoming fight with Terrence Bud Crawford. I think it's a good move, truth be told. I think it's a good move because Virgil has gave him some of his best wins. Him and Virgil seem to have some sort of chemistry that's pretty good for him, even though you cannot train a chin. You know what I'm saying? But it's still good to see him down with Virgil Hunter. You know what I mean? And it looks like he's dropping Joe Goosen, which Joe Goosen had him getting touched up against Samuel Vargas last fight, but he's dropping Joe Goosen, and it's looking like he's getting back down with Virgil Hunter. Also, Vasyl Lomachenko says he is, after he tried to go for undisputed up at 135 pounds, the dude is also looking to go back down to 130 pounds, man. That's something, you know what I mean? And he's saying, of course, he's going to have to go through the likes of a Mikey Garcia and things like that. And we'll see if he can get that job done. But, he's saying that after 135, and if he can become undisputed and get as many titles as he can up at 35, this dude looking like he's going to be trying to go back down in weight to 130 pounds. So clearly the dude ain't feeling confident enough to go up to 140 pounds for whatever reason. You know what I mean? He says, I remember Bob Arum even saying himself that, I believe that Vasyl Lomachenko has basically ceilinged out up at 135 pounds. So, he says he's going to stick around at 135. And then after that, he going down to 130 pounds where he got Tank, where he got to do, dudes like this guy, Andrew Cancio, where you got what's my guy, Burchelt. You know what I mean? You got some good fighters down there at 130 pounds. You got Ryan Garcia down there. And it's looking like that's the route that he want to go back. He don't want to mess around with them Regis Prograis of the world. He ain't trying to mess around with those Josh Taylors of the world. You know what I'm saying? And it is what it is. But he's saying after 135, he heading back down to 130 pounds. And last but not least, before we get to the meat and potatoes, Andrew Cancio, man. Andrew Cancio, remember the guy who beat Machado and took his WBA title up off him? Well, it seems that the Cancio had been awarded that WBA title on his waist, given to him by none other than Oscar De La Hoya, and it seemed like he's going to be returning back to the ring on June 8th. Something I'll be looking forward to, because they're saying a possible rematch. You know what I'm saying? Going to be going down between Cancio and Machado if Machado chooses to take that fight. Now, I remember Machado saying that, look, he had a problem with making that weight class. So if Machado going to go back down to 130 pounds and try to go back after his old title, no excuses. I repeat, hashtag no excuses. Full of Sports, what's up with you? You say too much smoke at 140 for him. For Vasyl Lomachenko, I mean, by the time he probably move up to 140 pounds anyway, all the smoke that we really would like to see him fight probably be hitting up to 47 anyway, because I remember Regis Prograis saying it ain't going to be but so long before he heads up to welterweight. And I remember also Josh Taylor saying something similar to the same thing. They wants to go up to welterweight. You know what I'm saying? And so, it is what it is. But Andrew Cancio, I'm be keeping my third eye on that Cancio versus Machado rematch. And truth be told, man, I hope we get it, dog. I hope we get it. Fuller says Machado needs to move up if there's a problem. I remember, and that's the excuse that he used in the last fight when Cancio came in that thing with a full head of steam. He came and brought the noise to him, and it did seem like Machado faded a little early. Don't get me wrong, but at the end of the day, dog, like if you can't be using that excuse. You can't say, well, I'm too big for the weight class, and give all of these excuses and then go back to the weight class. And if you lose again, then Slim, it ain't the fact that it's the weight class, because if you draining yourself to make 130, just take your ass up to 35 and don't even embarrass yourself that way. You know what I mean? But it is what it is. So Andrew Cancio will possibly looking to rematch Alberto Machado possibly on June 8th. We'll see how that works out, man. All right. Now, that's some of the honorable mentions are out the way. Let's talk about the topic at hand, and that is Manny Pacquiao wants all of the smoke. What you talking about, man? What you talking about? I'm sure y'all have already heard the news. I'm kind of late with it, but I'm sure y'all have already heard the news. Michael Coppinger, boxing writer, you know what I mean? Everybody looks to an article by Michael Coppinger, and he's already placed it on his social media of Manny Pacquiao and Keith One-Time Thurman approaching advanced talks. And the exact post went, and I quote, sources, Manny Pacquiao and Keith Thurman are in advanced talk for a pay-per-view welterweight title showdown that's being targeted for July 13th. No deal yet, but is expected to be completed. Hashtag boxing all day. You know what I mean? We're going to get all up into this, right? Chill. You hear me, though? Man, I'm going to say like this, too. First and foremost, man, I see a lot of people be running around in the sport and they be like, man, I wish Manny Pacquiao get out the way and this, that, and the third. Look here, man. I'm going to say this. I fucks with my main man, Manny Pacquiao. I really rocks with him. I'm going to be 100 with you. You know what I mean? And the thing is, if y'all want Manny Pacquiao to get out the sport, I don't know what to tell you. My thing is, let's not forget who Manny Pacquiao is. 8-division world champion. This dude was fighting in the era of Juan Manuel Marquez, Eric Morales. He fought dudes of that nature, Sugar Shane Mosley, and he is still fighting and still willing to take on the Young Bucks. That speaks volumes to me. So before you ask for Manny Pacquiao to get the hell out the sport, how about you appreciate the last few fights, the last few days or whatever that we got of Manny Pacquiao? Dude, you know, I mean, look at what we talking about here. We talking about a dude who fought in previous eras. Talking about fighting some of the new blood. Keith One-Time Thurman. Danny Garcia possibly as a plan B, because though they're in advanced talks, Danny Garcia is not off the table neither. You did. That's still a possibility for him too. LeBron James, what's up with you? Mr. Thurman ducked his way into a Pacquiao fight. Let's be 100 though. Let's be 100. Does Keith One-Time Thurman deserve a Manny Pacquiao fight? Riddle me that. I'd love to hear your answer on that, because I'm going to be 100 with you. He always said this is his dream fight. And a lot of people was talking about giving this fight to Errol Spence Jr. because Errol Spence Jr. is the new blood and he got all the momentum. He got the win at his back right now. But who is more deserving at welterweight than Keith One-Time Thurman, the man who is beating the number 1 and number 2 welterweights at the division? Who is worthy of this big legacy fight, if you will? You hear me? LeBron James says credit to Manny, though. Legend all day. Fuller Sports says, I don't mind a Manny Pacquiao Thurman fight because the Showtime Sean Porter versus Spence fight is a real good scrap for the real. Exactly. And see, by Manny Pacquiao being taken off the table, this then allows Errol Spence Jr. hopefully to fully concentrate on a Showtime Sean Porter or a Terrence Bud Crawford, if I had it my way. You did. But that's the thing I'm saying is, with Manny Pacquiao, dog, like my main man Last of a Dime Breed just said, shout out to you, homie. Put some respect on that man's name. This is an 8-division champ. He can for one, he's allowed to do what he want to do. He ain't stopping nobody from fighting nobody. You know what I'm saying? If Errol Spence want to fight whoever he want to fight, if he can get those fights, it ain't Manny Pacquiao that's stopping it. People try to make it like, oh, Pacquiao stopping up the division. Why is that? Why is that then? Oh, because he's a legend. Oh, because he's so popular. So you want him to get out of the sport instead of to continue to do great things. That makes no sense to me. That makes absolutely no sense to me. If this man want to get in there with a fighter that's 10 years younger than him or more, and he beat these fighters, dog, do you know what this do for Manny Pacquiao? Real talk. Do you know what this do for Manny Pacquiao? Now, my thing is this. Let's just say that Manny Pacquiao does fight Keith One-Time Thurman, right? Keith One-Time, hey, I'm going to tell you, that's a dangerous ass fight for 40-year-old Manny Pacquiao. I don't care how in shape Manny Pacquiao might look. Things change at 40, bruh. Things change at 40. Reflexes slow down. Stamina goes down. Things change at 40. Silver Salamo 2011, what's up with you? He says his career is starting to look just as good as Floyd's, in my opinion. Dog, you talking about a man that's fighting in a whole new era. And he's a world, well, I ain't gonna say a world champion, but he's a title holder, as my main man Blood Boxing would say. And the thing I'm saying is that this is a dangerous ass fight for Manny. Do you know, my thing is this. Keith One-Time Thurman, one of his best attributes that he has when he fights is that he has the ability to catch fighters when they're coming in. I've been looking at the whole the Thurman versus Lopez fight. He was tagging Lopez so many times coming in. That's something that Manny loves to do. Keith One-Time Thurman, when he's working off his back foot, One of the best things he got going for him is his ability to tag you up on the way in. It's the same thing we seen against he do against Showtime Sean Porter, the homie Lewis Coleman in the building. What's up, fam? I mean, he says the left hook on Thurman is nasty. I agree 100, bruh. Not only the left hook, but the uppercut. These are shots that Pacquiao will have to be on his third guard. I mean, he gonna have to have his third eye wide open, looking for these shots, trying to make it to the inside. We know Pacquiao like to bounce on his toes, try to move at different angles, line that left hand up, bounce in, bounce out, get in, get out. But Keith one-time Thurman, one of his strongest attributes is the ability to time you coming in. That's how he knocked down Josecito Lopez. He knocked down Josecito Lopez because Josecito Lopez walked into a nice shot. That's why Showtime Sean Porter was getting tagged up as much as he was, because Showtime Sean Porter tried to bum rush Keith one-time Thurman, and he was getting tagged up. And this is what makes this fight so dangerous for Manny Pacquiao. You get me? Lewis Coleman says uppercut all day. LeBron James says Manny eyes messed up too. AB hit that retina. Yeah, I remember that. That's kind of getting swept under the rug in today's headlines. Hey, this is a dangerous, dangerous fight. And if Manny Pacquiao accepts this fight, I give him full credit and respect. Full credit. This is dangerous. This dude is 10 years younger and a world champion, the WBA Super Championship. That's a hell of a risky ass fight. A lot of people are like, oh, he ducking Earl. My thing is Manny Pacquiao, for one, can do what the fuck he wants. When you got a country riding with you full speed, when you are considered a legend, an 8-division world champion who shouldn't honestly even be fighting in this era, you, sir, can do what the hell you want. You hear me, though? Lewis Coleman says LeBron Thurman earned this shot. I agree 100%. Thurman definitely earned this shot. That's why I asked who was more worthy. I mean, truth be told. And it'd be good if, say, anybody can get the name Manny Pacquiao on their resume, because they know, for one, the pay-per-view numbers are going to look good. And they know, for two, shit, they got the name Manny Pacquiao on their resume. Meaning that they can say, I'm A-side now. Look at my pay-per-view numbers. The same way that they doing with Earl and Lil Mike. It's the same shit. So everybody wants Manny. Everybody. Now, let me say this, though. Y'all heard the news about Floyd Money Mayweather going to the Philippines, right? And they saying that it was about a basketball game, and for Floyd to pass around his brand, his cosmetic brand, and he was there to do this and play one-on-one with Manny and sing Kumbaya or whatever the hell. My thing is, what I truly believe is that don't act like Floyd ain't bring this up in some sort of conversation with Manny. Floyd ain't gonna just take a trip to the Philippines and not have a conversation, at least with Manny, at least a conversation. Of course, we all know Manny wants the Floyd Mayweather fight. If it happens, it happens. Whatever. They're legends. They can do whatever they want. If you buy it, you buy it. If you don't, you don't. If you tell me you ain't going to buy it, I don't want to hear that shit. Because at the end of the day, people say that, and I already know how this is going to work out. You know what I mean? But we know Floyd Mayweather was down there in the Philippines. And don't say this ain't come up in the conversation. If the Floyd Money Mayweather fight doesn't happen, they're saying that Keith one-time Thurman is the first option. And the second option will be Danny Garcia. I'm going to be honest. It's like, I don't know. I think the Danny Garcia fight would be much more easier for Pacquiao to take. I'm not saying that Danny deserves it, because he doesn't. And I'm hoping that Danny doesn't truthfully get it, to be honest with you. Any fight that Pacquiao do with any of these fighters, whether it be Earl, whether it be Keith, whether it be Danny, whether it be Terrence, any of these fights that he get will all do good numbers. Make no mistake about it. I don't want it to be Danny. And I think that's Pacquiao's honestly best chance, because Danny is flat-footed. Danny doesn't move nearly as well as Keith Thurman. Danny got good power, don't get me wrong. But Danny, I don't know if he has the speed to land that power on Pacquiao. True, that's just being honest with you. P. Noah says, you're right, man. Pac-Man can do what he wants all day, all day. LeBron James says, Mr. Spence is A-side from here on out. You hear me, Joe? Hey, look, man. Mr. Spence ain't A-side over no Manny. I don't care what you talking about. Mr. Spence might be A-side when it comes to the other welterweights, but he ain't Mr. A-side when it comes to no Manny, bruh. Until Spence got a country behind him, a country. Like Floyd said, a country. Until Spence has a country behind him that's fully supporting him 100%, like he is the Statue of Liberty. Fuck no. You dig? Manny is a legend. Manny, you tell me, are you sitting here, LeBron? My main man, LeBron James. Are you sitting here telling me that Earl Spence Jr. is the A-side over Manny Pacquiao? Hey, are you tripping, son? Are you tripping? Danny versus Manny has a ring to it. Lewis Coleman says, but LeBron, don't you want to see Thurman beat Manny and have a higher profile to make the Spence fight even bigger for the casual boxing fans? Agreed. See, the one thing you could say about that, like Lewis is saying, Earl Spence Jr. has just got his name risen to the stars by beating Lil Mike. Or should I say Mr. Spence has his name risen in the stars by beating Lil Mike. So if Keith gets his name up there by beating Manny, you're talking about a monumental fight. The casuals will definitely be engaged, no question. No question. But that's if Keith can get through Manny. The thing is, though, if they do make the Keith and Manny fight, do y'all think that Keith can stop Manny? I don't know. Manny he got a good beard on him. Yeah, we know he got time real good by Marquez. Yeah, we know Manny's been stopped in the past. But Manny got a real good beard on him. And Keith ain't showing that one-time power that we've once seen before. Can Keith stop Manny? Muhammad Hamatola, what's up with you? Thurman facing Pacquiao will only make the Spence fight bigger in terms of revenue and prestige. And see, that's the one thing that I've been telling boxing fans. You can check my archives because they don't lie. I've been telling people for months. Keith Thurman is one of the only people at welterweight that's trying to build a super fight. He's been doing this. People always wonder why, like, Keith he's ducking Earl. No, he respects Earl. And he sees what Earl is and the potential in Earl. And he wants Earl to rise his name up. And of course, his name is already up there. And so when they meet at the top. This is what Keith has been wanting from Earl Spence from day one, to meet him at the top. See, Keith already figures I'm at the top. I'm up here. I put my work in. I beat the number 1 and number 2 guy. And if I can get Manny, that's even better. I'll see you there. All you got to do is beat Showtime Sean Porter and hopefully turns Bud Crawford. And if you can do that, I'll see you at the top for a super fight. Hashtag super fight. You did. Fool of Sports says it's possible, but I don't see it. I hear you, Mo. LeBron James says Earl, Mr. Spence is the A-side from here on out, even versus Little Manny. We talking boxing, man. Hey, you funny, homie. You funny. Nah, hell nah, son. Hell nah. You hear me? I ain't buying that. But LeBron, you fucking with me, bro. Hey, I'm going to tell you right now. There's a reason why everybody at welterweight wants to get Manny up in the fight. Danny wants him. Terrence wants him. Everybody want him except Floyd. Earl wants him. They all want him because Manny is still a legend. But my thing is, here's my deal. And I know this is easier said than done. I'm not in the ring. Y'all not in the ring. But it'd be nice if they could just ignore Manny. If y'all feel like they didn't ignore Manny and fight each other and surpass him. Oh, that's asking too much. Oh, we can't let that bag go. That here man got a country. Oh, well, if that's the case, then he's A-side. But if that's the case, LeBron, leave him alone. Let him go and fight the Andre Bertos of the world. Oh, they won't do that. They want that fight. They want that fight bad. Man, A-side. Stop it. Lewis Coleman says, can Thurman win a decision over Manny? I believe that Thurman can definitely win a decision over Manny, but that's why I was wondering, can Thurman actually stop Manny? And that's something I don't think. I don't know. It all depends on if Keith said this is a dream fight for him. This is something that he's always wanted to do. He couldn't get the Floyd Money Mayweather fight back in the day, and this is something that he always wanted to do. So maybe he digs deep, but I just don't see him stopping Manny. I do see him outboxing Manny, but I can also see Manny outboxing him. My homie, Jonathan Fox in the super chat. What's up, homie? What's up, family? Hashtag Flute Gang. We talking boxing. You hear me, though? That's my man right there, man. That's my man. LeBron James says, that's asking too much, man. Let my brothers get that bag. Yeah, I mean, look. If they want to eat off him, then LeBron, then you got to consider Manny Pacquiao the A side, because he is bringing a country, he's bringing legacy, he is bringing a hell of a name, and they all want that. They all want that. But the question is, who deserves that? Who deserves it? Does anybody there deserve it more than Keith? Who deserves it? That's the question. See, Pacquiao, in my opinion, has problems with boxers that was going to move. That's why Floyd gave him trouble. Floyd moved and was timing his ass coming in. That's something that Keith Thurman is going to rip a page out of Mayweather's book and do the exact same thing. You seen how he just fought Josecito Lopez? He was moving constantly in that fight and timing Josecito Lopez every time Josecito Lopez tried to come in. Tagging him. He got caught up in one round. Round 7, he almost ain't make it up out of round 7. And I don't know. And Manny still got good power. Manny still got good power. Don't get me wrong. But I don't think he puts the kind of pressure that Josecito was putting. LeBron James says that, Lewis, if Thurman beats little Manny, Keith vacates that belt and heads over to India to retire. He don't want that smoke. Hey, my man is going to India. He ain't going to India, bruh. I'm going to tell you right now, bruh. He going to stand right here. And like my man Jonathan Fox says, hashtag Flute Gang. He going to become hashtag Sax Gang. Remember that. He going to start playing the sax. I'm telling y'all, man. My man need to leave that fucking flute alone, and he going to come over and play the sax. But at the end of the day, the thing that I'm trying to explain to y'all is that this is a good fight. And Manny Pacquiao is taking a hell of a risk with even speaking of a Keith one-time Thurman. Now, I wasn't happy with the fact that he left Errol Spence Jr. up off the pole. I wasn't happy about that. But at the end of the day, this is still just as risky of a fight. And Manny is losing just as much if he takes this fight. I still believe that Floyd Money Mayweather is hands down the first option. I'm sorry. Manny Pacquiao, man, to be honest with you, man, to see him this late at 40 years old and still being the center of the welterweight division, still everybody still wanting to fight him. I mean, I'm happy to see it, man. I mean, I'm being honest with you. I'm happy to see it. And if he get in there and he mix it up with these young boys, man, I got nothing but respect for him, bro. He shouldn't even be fighting in this era. If you want to say the reason he's fighting is because of money or whatever the case may be, fine. But the fact is, he shouldn't even be fighting in this era. They should be worried about mixing it up with each other, but they're not. They're worried about Manny. What is Manny going to do? We can't announce our next fights because we're worrying about what Manny going to do. Earl and Sean can't announce a fight because we're worried about Manny was going to do. This is what it's all about. And it's crazy. Lewis Coleman says it's too much money left on the table. If Thurman beats Manny, he not going nowhere. Stop hating on Thurman. Absolutely not. If Thurman beats Manny, at that point, though he won't really inherit a title for Manny because Manny's a WBA regular and he already has the WBA super. It's just the fact that he'll have the name of Manny Pacquiao and he'll have pay-per-view numbers to contend with Earl and Mikey. That's what he'll have more than anything. We all know that Earl and Mikey did very good numbers. Very good numbers. But I believe that a Thurman and Manny can do just as big as numbers. And then he'll come to the table and say, okay, you did what? Close to 400,000? Okay, bet. Here go my 550,000. Here go my 600,000. And we know Keith one-time Thurman is a talker. He can talk his ass off. I can see him selling the fight. The Rock says Pacquiao stops Thurman. Now look, man, I don't know about stopping, but there's a good possibility that Pacquiao can win this fight too. My thing is, I'm not unimpressed with Manny Pacquiao. The Lucas Matisse fight, I thought he fought well. The Adrian Bronner fight in which he dominated Bronner, I thought he fought well. But I thought if Bronner would have actually did what he was supposed to do, he had a chance to win. He was attempting to catch Pacquiao coming in. The fact is, he just didn't let his hands go enough, as always, and his timing started to get a bit off as the fight progressed. But there was some good shots that he was landing on Manny, if that's Keith one-time Thurman. And from what I seen in the Jotacito Lopez fight, I think Keith just gonna catch him coming in all day. That's just what Keith MO is. That's what he do. My man P. Newell says Pac-Man is the center of attention. That's something to say, bro. At 40 years old. At 40 years old. See, Pacquiao comes from different earth. If they want to be, well, let's, forget about Pac. They can fight each other. They can fight each other. Danny, you can try to get a fight with Terrence, or you can try to get a fight with Keith, or whatever the case may be. Y'all can just fight each other and forget about Manny. They will never do that, homie. They will never do that. You hear me? Manny attracts too much. A country. The man has a country. Damn. LeBron James says Charlo versus Harrison 2. Rumored to be in Houston. Oh, okay. I don't know if Harrison wanted to do that. I thought Harrison said he wanted a hometown fight. If Harrison is smart, I don't know about going to Houston, bro. That's not a smart deal. Maybe he should think about, since he's the champion, maybe getting a fight in his backyard, but I don't know what venue they'll do. But at least on neutral ground. Muhammad Hamatola says Thurman will beat Pacquiao with movement and ring IQ. Things that Pacquiao don't like. He doesn't like movement. He wants you to stand there and fight. You know how Pacquiao is. He wants a guy that's going to stand there and fight, which, while honestly, maybe we shouldn't all be surprised if he says, you know what, instead I'm fighting Danny Garcia. Though I understand what Michael Coppinger is saying, they're in advanced talks, they're at the end. Let's not forget Pacquiao do things like this. Remember during the Mayweather build up, what fight was that? When he attempted to go and get the Amir Khan fight. Since you wasn't cooperating in negotiations, guess what? I'll go get Amir Khan. But Amir Khan never happened. How many times has he used Amir Khan as a decoy? He's used Amir Khan as a decoy on a couple occasions. So, I mean, we can be getting decoyed by Keith one-time Thurman. I don't deny that. But at the end of the day, this is just such a risky fight. Risky fight. Less of a dime breeze says Thurman needs another tune-up. Pac-Man wins easily. I don't think so, bro. See, a lot of people gave Thurman a lot of shit over that Jotacito Lopez fight, bro. A lot of people gave Thurman a whole lot of shit. Say, oh, he did. The man had like 1-2 bad rounds, bro. I'm being honest with you. I've been looking at that fight all day. That man had like 1-2 bad rounds. For the most part, he moved. He kept Jotacito at bay. Jotacito was swinging wild on a lot of punches. Yeah, Jotacito had an infamous 7th round. Great 7th round. Could have got Thurman out of there, but he didn't. After that, a 2-year layoff. Okay, you lose a couple rounds. Nah, Mo, I'm not. Well, I was impressed with the legs of Thurman and his ability to keep Jotacito Lopez at bay at times in that fight. Keith, tune up Thurman. Go ahead, son. Hey, LeBron, you off your shit tonight, bro. You off your shit tonight, homie. Keith is good at running too. Man, Keith is that dude, son. Hey, LeBron, you gonna stop disrespecting my main man, Mo? Come on, man. You gonna stop that, man. My man can box. His ring IQ is off of the chain. You hear me, though? Off of the chain. This is the reason he beat the #1 and #2 guy. This is the reason why he's considered the #1 welterweight. This is the reason why he was the only unified welterweight champion. And none of the rest of them were. You dig? The Rock says Prime Pacquiao stops all the current welterweights all day. I don't know about stopping, but he gives them a hell of a fight. I think he beats majority of them. But we talking today, Mo. 40-year-old Pacquiao stepping in a ring with 30-year-old Keith one-time Thurman is a risky fight for Pacquiao. Pacquiao can lose his whole stock in one fight. And then the Mayweather 2 fight or whatever they talking would definitely be gone. In Danny Garcia's case, I think that's more of a winnable fight because Danny doesn't move nearly as well as Keith. And of course, Danny can time you and he has good power. And Pacquiao has to be aware of that. But if Danny's going to become flat-footed, stand in place like he does once he's pressed, That's something that Pacquiao can take advantage of better. As for Keith Thurman, who adapts very well, who's a thinker in that ring. He thinks, he studies you, he figures you out. And if you don't think that Keith Thurman has been studying Manny Pacquiao for years, I don't know what to tell you. This is Keith Thurman we talking about. This is Keith Thurman. You know what I'm saying? This is Keith Thurman. I'm hoping it happens, bruh. This is good for the sport. You know what I mean? It's good for Manny's legacy, win, lose, or draw. I would respect him either way, even if he loses to Keith Thurman. If he beats him, man, the man is just one of the all-time greats. Easy. Already is, but, I mean, come on. But, I mean, I think this is good. If Keith can get his name on his resume, and a lot of people may say, well, you know, man, nah, we want to see him do this and we want to see him do that. Well, everybody else is busy. Terrence is fighting Amir. He going to knock Amir's block off. Showtime Sean Porter and Mr. Spence are supposedly in negotiations. And let me just take a bridge real quick. Word on the curb is that Mr. Spence and Showtime Sean Porter is not going to be fighting until September. If I'm not mistaken, September. That's like 6 months away. September. And everybody's like, well, Manny's coming back in July. Manny is coming back in July. We can't fight when Manny fights. The fuck? Did they not give us Tyson Fury versus Deontay Wilder? Then they turned around and gave us Adrian Bronner versus Manny, and then turned around and gave us Earl Spence Jr. and Lil Mike on pay-per-view. So they done it before, and they were all semi-successful pay-per-views, right? Why stops them? Why do we have to wait 6 freaking months? They talking September, the same month that Canelo Alvarez fights in. That doesn't make any sense to me. Last I heard that Earl Spence Jr. wanted to come back this summer. Last I heard that Showtime Sean Porter wanted to come back this summer. Now they're talking about September? For real though? For real though? Nah, hell no. Fool of Sports says Danny Garcia got very little footwork, which makes it for an easier fight for Manny Pacquiao. Jonathan Fox says everybody wants to be the guy that retires Manny. He's a shell of his former self. Passing the torch to Thurman is the right move. Jonathan, who else deserves it more, homie? You did. I don't think I can't. I mean, when you look at accomplishments, you can look at this one or two ways. You could say from an accomplishment level, the guy who actually put the work in and earned it is Keith Thurman. Or you can look at it from, well, who got the current momentum? Who is the rising star? Who is the guy that can do, you know, can be the next guy of the division? Well, that possibly is Earl Spence Jr. Hashtag Mr. Spence. It could be him. And so, you know, you can look at it from one or two ways. But clearly, Manny Pacquiao is not interested in Mr. Spence. The body language in the ring told us that. The poll told us that. Hey, look, man, you ain't got to tell me twice. He's not interested in Mr. Spence. Mr. Spence needs to move on, which I'm hearing that he is. So, you know, it is what it is. I understand they all want him. But Manny is in a position where you don't want him. He wants you. You don't want Manny. Manny wants you. You did. And the only one that can top that is Floyd Money Mayweather. If Floyd comes back, you don't want Floyd. Okay? You don't want Floyd. He wants you. And the reason that is because they're legends. If you don't want to respect that and you say to yourself, well, that's where they're messing up the division at, then these fighters can fight each other. Ain't nothing stopping them, bruh. Y'all, people kill me with that. Oh, we want them to get out of the sport because they not doing this. Then they ain't got to worry about them then. Then they can fight each other and earn their own legacy. I did a video a while back. And I said, well, the reason that Pacquiao and Mayweather is still so big is because these current fighters are not doing nearly as much of the work as they did. If you think that if they want to suppress that fight or if they want to not make that fight the fight to talk about, then surpass it. Fight each other. Fight each other. They ain't become legends for no reason. Fight each other. Oh, man, they can't do that. They can't do that. The politics, the shit, the politics. Get out of here, fam. Get out of here. I'm not buying that shit, bro. The Rock says Pacquiao. The Rock says Pacquiao versus Thurman. Salute. Oh shit in the building. The Rock says Pacquiao versus Thurman will take away shine from any light. Pacquiao versus so what? So what? Thurman earned that though. Thurman earned that. People don't like to hear that, but Thurman earned it. If anybody gonna get the bag, the recognition, the shine, as my homie just said, it's Keith One Time Thurman. You know why? Because he beat the number 1 and number 2 guy and became unified. And on top of that, dropped the belt just so he can have them to fight for a belt. There you go. Everybody like, well, man, look how he acting now. He acting like this and he acting like that and he acting like this. What the fuck did he do in the ring? Riddle me that. And has anyone outdone him since? The answer will be no. The answer will be no. I love T-Bud. That's my main man. Y'all know I big up T-Bud heavy, but he ain't surpassed Thurman. I love what Earl Spence Jr. is doing at welterweight. No one wants to fight him. Everybody wants to stay away from him. He ain't done it yet. And Keith Thurman has. I'm sorry, y'all. Lewis Coleman says, don't call him Mr. Spence. He waiting for his system to clean out. So that's why Spence waiting for September Vada. Oh, Lord. Hashtag the Doc Road. You know what? I called him Mr. Spence. The reason I call him, for anyone who's wondering, why do I call him Mr. Spence? I call him Mr. Spence because ever since the little Mike fight, it's been business talk. I've been hearing a lot of business talk, and I'm crediting this to Derek James, the interview that I heard him talk about on the Boxing Voice. And on top of that, he was on some, how much did Sean Porter sell? How many people was at his fight? This person can't be marketed on pay-per-view. That person can't be. We've never heard hashtag free smoke talk this way. And so he is now Mr. Spence. He has on glasses and a briefcase. He drinks coffee in the morning. He kisses his wife before he leaves for work. He is hashtag Mr. Spence. That's the reason I call him that. But you and that Vada tell, hey, hashtag Doc Road, and I ain't going down there right now. Last of a Dying Breed says they saying Triple G supposed to be fighting this guy, Hassan and Dom. You heard of him? Yeah, Hassan and Dom been around for a while. I'm disappointed in Triple G, bro. You know what I mean? Like, people say I'm riding Triple G too hard, and man, he's coming off the Canelo fight, and bro, that was a year ago. You know what I'm saying? Like, bro, don't expect for me to sit here and cry for Gennady Golovkin. I have bigged up Gennady Golovkin for many, many vids. Gennady Golovkin has the opportunity of a lifetime to get in there and face Demetrius Andrade. If he doesn't want to get in there and face Demetrius Andrade, he can face his WBO ordered fight in Jamal Charlo. There's no excuses. Canelo Alvarez sat out of the ring for a year, and he came right back to Gennady Golovkin. Oh, man, he's 36 years old. He's 37 years old, 36 years old. Look at Gennady Golovkin's resume. When the division was not nearly as stacked, Gennady Golovkin was taking them back to back. Oh, yeah, bring on Lemieux. Oh, yeah, bring on Monroe. Bring on Stevens. Bring them on. But the second of this division is popping. It's like Gennady Golovkin won Assam Indam. He wants, what's the last dude named Zaramita? He wants Brandon Adams. I'm sorry, bro. I mean, I've been bigging up Gennady for a long time, and I got respect for Gennady and what he's done and all his title defenses and all of that good stuff. But at the end of the day, the smoke is right there, homie. The division is popping right now. Go in there, get in there with Demetrius Andrade, who said that he's down to fight you. If you can, get the title off Andrade and then step to Canelo so y'all can fight for a total undisputed match. It's as simple as that. Simple mathematics. Simple mathematics. I'm not asking for too much. I'm not asking for too much. You dig? I gave Gennady Golovkin slack when this dude decided not to face his IBF mandatory and relinquish the title to ensure the Canelo fight when Canelo was serving out his suspension. Homie Orlando Finney, what's up, family? What's up, homie? $4.99 super chat. Much love to you, homie. Much love to you, man. You up working tonight, fam? Let me know. And I the one that gave Gennady Golovkin in the past though on that IBF. Okay, you don't want to defend your IBF. You want to go and face Avanesian or whoever you fought. Okay, cool. You didn't want to give Charlo his shot then. Cool. And then you got the Canelo fight and you lost. You have not beaten Canelo Alvarez in 2 fights. And we just supposed to let you fight a bum on your return and then try to fight Canelo in the fall? Hell nah, bruh. Earn that fight back, bruh. Get in there with Demetrius Andrade. Get the WBO title if you can. And then step back to Canelo Alvarez and say, Canelo, I got a belt. You got a belt. You got 3 belts if he beats Daniel Jacobs. You got 3 belts. I got 1 belt. Let's do it for total undisputed in the fight of a lifetime. You did. Why am I asking something? Why am I asking too much when I say that? I don't understand it, homie. I don't understand. Let's see what y'all talking about. Got my homie Orlando in the building, man. What's up with you? My man Muhammad Hamatola says free smoke is turning into cigar smoke and caviar. Hey, I don't want it to be true, bro. I don't want it to be true. I want Earl to remain Earl, but he's got a little bit of pay-per-view success and dog, don't start talking about this, what you can sell shit. Now, I will say this to everybody. They are saying that him and Sean Porter are actually talking right now. Let's hope that keeps up. The only problem that I have with it, they talking this September shit. And I'm like, that's too far down the line. Why skunk the momentum of this fight? We're talking about it now. Earl's coming off a fight where he had major eyeballs on him. You know what I mean? The momentum is hot right now. Hot. You're talking about coming back in the middle of football season. You're talking about coming back when Canelo was fighting for on Mexican Independence Week. You know, like you asking for too much. Why not do it in the summer? It just makes sense. It makes perfect sense. By this time, Terrence would have fought Amir Khan. By this time, possibly the Terrence, the Keith Thurman and Manny Pacquiao fight would have happened if that's what's going to happen. And then we'll have a much clearer picture coming into the fall. Like, okay, here's the emerging winners. Let's see who can go against each other. It would just make sense. You did? Wait until September makes no sense. I know that people may say, well, you got to think of all the competing pay-per-views. You got Anthony Joshua. Are you at home chilling, Orlando? That's what it is. That's what it is, homie. You got to think of the Anthony Joshua has a pay-per-view coming up, right? Of course, Manny Pacquiao, whenever he decides to come back, he's going to win a pay-per-view fight. Terrence Crawford and Amir Khan. My deal is this. Showtime Sean Porter versus Errol Spence Jr., in my opinion, at least I know amongst us, will sell. It will sell. Lewis Coleman says Porter is in pay-per-view. Porter may not be pay-per-view. Earl is. And people, social YouTube everywhere will go crazy for this fight. We will be talking about this fight the day that it gets made. Like, we will be talking about this fight crazy. We can build this fight on social media. We can all build this fight. I will be more than happy to participate. I will be more than happy to participate. I will talk about this fight till the cows come home, because I think this is a hell of a fight. It's a unification match, and it has major implications. Don't tell me that they can put Pacquiao and Bronner on pay-per-view for the casuals, but they can't do something. Man, look, we'll pay for this fight, bro. I may not do 400, 500,000. I can see it doing anywhere between 250 to 350. You dig? And I can see that. I can see him breaking somewhere between there. I can see it breaking between there, man. You know, and that's all I'm saying, bro. I think it may not be the top-notch fight. It may not be record-breaking, but it's still a decent fight. And if Porter's, because from what I'm hearing from Kenny Porter, his preference is we want to be on pay-per-view. Spence got a lot of momentum. Spence wants that belt. It's a good fight. It's a unification fight. We will sell it. I will sell it. I will sell it to my voice go hoarse. I will talk about this fight as much as y'all would love to hear. There's not a person in this chats in this chat room right now that would not pay for Spence versus Porter. I truly don't think there is. You say you'll pay for it, Lewis. Right. P. Newell says Earl wearing suits and turtlenecks. Hashtag Mr. Spence. No bullshit. He got the briefcases with the little buttons on it. Be like, brah. You know what I'm saying? Pull the contract out, you know. Well, today what we'll talk about is my next fight. Dog, like my deal is all I'm saying is, man, everybody will look at this fight. Unbiased Cowboy fans, what's up with you? Spence is next up. Absolutely. But before Spence can become that guy, he has to get through the likes of a Showtime Sean Porter. Take the WBC. Or look, Keith, love him or hate him, is doing his part. He's done his part. He's beaten Danny. He's beaten Sean. If he gets Manny and he beats Manny, the only one left for him to beat is Terrence and Earl. That's it. That's it. So here's the deal. How about you do something too? Meet him halfway. Beat Sean, get in there with Terrence, and then meet Keith at the top. Slim, why is that so complicated for me to ask? You know what I'm saying? Why is that wrong? You hear me though? Why is that wrong for me to say, no, they should meet at the top? This is how super fights get made. This is how legendary fights come together. You got one man cleaning up belts, and you got to get another man cleaning up belts. The man relinquished his title for this reason. You did. He gave up the WBC so y'all can fight for it. That's all I'm saying. It's not so wrong to ask, man. You did. Lauren Nichols in the building. What's up, family? Salute to you too. LDBC, BFTB, hashtag Flint, and salute to the chats all day. Salute to the LDBC. And that's all I'm saying, man. And hats off to my homie, big homie, Black Fight Fan TV all day and Blood Boxing. Thing all I'm saying, man, like that's what I'm saying, man. Look, man, I ain't asking for too much here, dog. All I'm asking for is for these two to meet at the top. It's going to be hard. It's going to be a hard road, but we can witness history. If Keith, who was already done what he had to do, if he can get Manny and Earl can get Terrence and Sean, do y'all know what we will have on our hands? We will have a history-making fight in our era, in our generation. I'm not asking too much. I'm not asking too much. And if Manny doesn't want to participate because he is a legend and he can do what the fuck he wants, if he don't want to participate, fine. Then guess what, Keith? You need to do something else, bro. I don't know. Maybe Danny can get back in the mix. I don't know. But we got to stop rooting against these fights. We got to be encouraged this shit, bro. We got to encourage these dudes chopping it up as much as possible. People say, well, Terrence Bud Crawford will come in at 2020. Okay, fine. I'm good with it. I'm not happy, don't get me wrong, but if it is what it is, then it is what it is. In the meantime, between time, Earl, like you said, homie, I'm gonna clean up my side of the street. Starting with Showtime Sean Porter. Get that WBC. Do what you got to do. That ain't a promised fight. Don't give me, please do not misquote me. But I'm just saying, do what you got to do. Meet Keith at the top. Meet Keith at the top. Keith put his work in already. Orlando Finney says, I'll pay for Spence versus Porter fight. Me too. You got my money. My money's in the bank all day. If they announce Spence versus Porter tomorrow, guess what? I'm buying it early. I might even try to go. Don't act like that fight ain't gonna be doing good, man. People trying to make it like, oh, that fight ain't this and that fight ain't that, and Porter just want to get with it because Earl is hot right now. I don't want to hear that shit as a boxing fan. Make the fight, and guess what? I'm probably gonna go. I'm paying my money. You got me. I'm in all the way in. Muhammad Hamatola says if Spence does not fight Porter next, then all of the strap season talk was as fake as Golovkin's Mexican style. Yeah, man. All day, Muhammad. All day. I agree with you, bro. And I'm going in. I'm going all the way in. I'm calling that shit out big time, bro. My homie Rocket Strikes 89. What's up, fam? What's up with you, man? What's going on? What's going on? What up, Slim? Lewis Coleman says it's Tommy Hearns versus Hagler. And these are how these type of fights come about because both men have to participate. And I truly believe that Errol Spence Jr. is the one that can do it. And I truly believe Keith has already done it. Hit that like button for me, like Laureen Nichols says. Hit the like button for me, whether you're fam, whether you're sliding through, whether you just like what I'm talking about. Hit the like button for me, y'all. Hit it for me. You know what I mean? But yeah, man. But my deal is, dog, we need to encourage this whole situation. Orlando Family says, with all of the potential fights that we have at welterweight, I believe that we'll have an undisputed champion at welterweight by the end of next year. It can be possible. It can definitely be possible, Orlando, if everybody participates. If everybody participates, it can definitely happen, man. You know what I'm saying? It could definitely happen. Now, I will honestly say in Earl Spence's case, he's probably one that got to compromise more because if he's going to get the fight with Terrence, he's going to have to compromise. It's going to take a lot of behind the scenes work. The suit's going to have to get to work on it. I will admit that it's not the easiest fight to make. But Terrence is saying he wants it after Amir. You know, they're talking a good game. It can happen, man. And I really believe it, man. I believe that we finally at a point where, okay, they've ran out of the chitlin circuit. Ain't nobody left in the chitlin circuit that we want to see these dudes fights. They will receive backlash from us fans. And they know it. Look what Sean just went through. The man had 15 people at his last fight. He was fighting in 20-degree weather. He was out there cold as a mug. The backlash is real, and we want to see them face each other. I'm truly proud of a lot of y'all fans because y'all calling that shit out, man. I'm happy to see what a lot of the boxing fans are talking about. Y'all like, nah, bro, we don't want to see you fight Joe Smo. You need to get up in there with Earl. No, we don't want to see you fight Keith. No, hell no. You need to keep mixing it up with the top. We holding their feet to the fire, and we need to continue to do that. We got the power to do it. George Costanza in the building. What's up with you? Main man is full of is at full sailor. Salute, bro. all day. George Costanza, I love to see Earl and Andre catch weight. Man, look, man. Those type of fights, the Earl and Andres and the Earl and Canelos, and even in my case with my main man, hashtag the real champ, 154 champ, hashtag storm coming, hashtag May 11th. Even Jared Swift Heard, who's calling out Earl Spence Jr., knows that, like, leave that down the road. You know what I'm saying? Let this man do what he got to do at welterweight tonight. And that's the most important thing. You dig? For everybody who has not bought their tickets, May 11th, Jared Swift Heard will destroy Julian J. Rock Williams at Eagle Bank Arena. I will be there. Buy your tickets, man. Real talk. Buy your tickets. Fantasy. Yeah, man. And that's all, you know, and that's what I'm saying. And so, but at the end of the day, I want to go back to my original point. And that is, if Manny chooses to take this fight, because he got really nowhere else to go. And Manny knew by coming over to the PBC, it's either I got to fight these young boys or I got nowhere else to go. What else I'm going to do? We're not going to sit back and tolerate Manny. As great as he is and as a legend, as legendary as he is, a lot of fans are not going to tolerate. And he doesn't even want to fight possibly the lower end of boxing. He wants to make some money. And the only way he's going to do it is mixing it up with these young boys. I ain't mad at him, bro. I ain't mad at him, man. And so hats off to Manny Pacquiao. If he gets in there with Keith one time Thurman, I think it's a risky ass fight. I think Keith can catch him coming in all day. I think Keith can time him perfectly with an uppercut, the left hook. I think Keith moves too much for Manny. I think Danny will honestly be a better fight. But if like Michael Coppinger is saying, if this man takes this fight, hats off to them. But it's going to be a hell of a fight. Real shit. Lewis Coleman says Hurd is okay until my man from Detroit give Hurd that work. Harrison all day. Man, Harrison already lost to Hurd, bruh. What you talking about? What you talking about, bruh? What you talking about, man? Harrison already lost to Hurd, homie. That's Hurd leftovers. Harrison, you know, I respect him for what he did with Charlo all day. And the family, Black Horseman, Boxing Channel is in the building. Everybody who hear the sound of my voice, go check my homie out. Just stopping through to hit the like button and show support, fam. Peace to the chat. Much love to you, Black Horseman. Much love to you, and we're going to link up soon, fam. The thing I'm trying to explain to you, dog, Hurd is the real champ, bro. I like Harrison, but if Harrison gets through Charlo, then he gonna come bringing that belt right back. Look what Jared's doing. He's fighting J-Rock, who's rated high in the WBC, just so he knows that fight is next. You better understand and respect my man, bro. Hashtag Storm coming. George Costanza says, main man walking him down with his spit. Yeah, I'm walking him down, man. Now we know who's who. Yes, sir. Rocket Strikes 89 says, that's right, Joe. This is a Hurd channel all day. All day. Hurd and Gary Russell Jr. Let's not forget about Gary, Rocky Strike 89. Let's not forget about Gary. And trust and believe. Leo Sanders snooze. I'm keeping my third eye on you, homie. I'm going to roast you very soon. And the clock is ticking. The clock is definitely ticking. I like Hurd, and I know he beats Harrison. Yes, he does. And he goes and gets that WBC belt, and he has 3 belts. And then the only one that's left is Jaime Munguia. But we know that Jaime Munguia wants no smoke. No smoke. And I'll say this again. If I hear someone else say that Errol Spence Jr. is in the top 5 pound for pound, and you do not boot him out of there and put my man Hurd in there, we're going to have a misunderstanding. And that's just keeping it a buck. Because, dog, it's no way that people can say, I like Earl. Earl is on his way, whatever. He is not in the top 5 pound for pound before Jarrett Swift Hurd. Jarrett Swift Hurd has 2 belts, and he's beaten the current WBC champion. There is no way in a million, trillion, billion, jillion years that he deserves to be in the top 5 before Jarrett Swift Hurd. Stop playing with the homie. Real shit. So it is what it is. But I just want to say, man, you know, at the end of the day, I respect Manny Pacquiao. I respect him to the fullest. Whatever he decides to do, you know, either way, I like Manny Pacquiao. He's already did what he has to do. I just respect the fact that he's fighting these young boys. And I hope that him and Keith Thurman can work it out and get to the end so Keith can get that name possibly on his resume and bring it to Errol Spence Jr. to the table and say, hey, look at my pay-per-view numbers. Look at yours. I have a legend. You have a damn good fight on yours. I had 2 belts. I gave up a belt. You now have 2 belts. If you can make it through Showtime, Sean Porter, let's meet at the top for a historic fight. And I'm going to leave it right there. Real shit. Lauren Nichols says that main man, Leo Santa Cruz is about to have a go to war or be 10 toes up. 10 toes. Man, Leo Santa Cruz better. Man, look, the only thing that Leo Santa Cruz needs to be talking about right now is my main man, Gary Russell Jr. Okay? Years in the making. This is now years in the making. What are you talking about? Every time I hear an interview about Leo Santa Cruz, it's, oh, well, yeah, you know, I'm going to fight Gary Russell Jr. He's going to be my next fight. I've been telling them that I want Gary. Every time we turn around, and he never fights Gary Russell Jr. If Leo announced another fight, I'm going all the way in. All the way in. It ain't even good. Y'all going to think I'm wrong. Y'all going to think I'm wrong on so many levels. But I'm going in, and I'm going to leave it there. Everybody, it has been an awesome show. I'm about to shut it down. Much love to each and every one of you. Much love to all of the super chats. Much love to everybody that showed up, rolled with me tonight. Laureen Nichols, Lewis Coleman, Fuller Sports, George Costanza, my homie, Black Horseman Boxing Channel, Jarrell Scott. Oh, I didn't see your hashtag Swift Nation, hashtag DMV in the building for that Hurd Williams fight all day, Jarrell Scott, all day. You know what I'm saying? Everybody that rolled with me tonight, Rocket Strike 89, much love to you. Muhammad Hamatola, much love. And of course, the families, Orlando Finney and P. Newell, much love to each and every one of y'all. Thank you for everybody that rolled with me on the Wednesday night show. We're about to shut it down. Tune back in here Sunday evening, and we'll hopefully have some better topics to talk about because boxing has been a little slow this week, in my opinion. You know, a lot of the same rehashed arguments, but if it is what it is what it is, man. Much love to each and every one of y'all. I appreciate y'all for rocking with the homie, and I'll see y'all on the next live stream. Maybe we'll do a spontaneous one, maybe a late night live stream. I noticed those are becoming real popular. So maybe we'll do a late night live stream real soon. Maybe even Friday night. You know what I'm saying? So maybe if I'm not doing nothing, y'all ain't doing nothing, come fuck with me. Much love to each and every one of y'all. To the next video, Main Man, Made Man. Don't forget to subscribe. Twitter, Made Man 511. Facebook, Main Man, Made Man. Boxing Forum. Instagram, Main Man, Made Man. And just like I always say, we talking boxing. Major love to each and every one of you all day. Oh, thank you, Black Horseman, and salute to you, fam. We sure will link up real soon. That's my main man. Much love to you, homie. Hey, and keep up the music, bro. I heard what you're doing in that music. Keep it up, homie. Fire, son. Fire. To the next video. Peace out.